Hello students, welcome to lecture 8 on unit 5 metal corrosion, its prevention and electrochemistry. In this lecture we are going to continue with the next part of the electrochemistry. Let us start with ionization and electrolytic dissociation. Ionization is the formation of positively or negatively charged ions from molecules which are not initially in the ionic state. For example, heat causes ionization of gas and making it a fairly good conductor of electricity. As we see in the neon sign boards which are used in advertisement, in which high voltage electric current brings about the ionization of neon gas and other inert gases, due to which these gases glow with various colors. Polar compounds generally show ionization. For example, HCl, that is hydrochloric acid, carbonic acid, ammonium hydroxide, etc. Dissociation is the separation of ions which are already present in an ionic compound or electrovalent compounds. So many electrovalent or ionic compounds like NaCl, sodium chloride, KCl, potassium chloride, potassium bromide show dissociation. In this example, you can see the ionization of HCl in aqueous medium. It ionizes into H plus and Cl minus ions. Also, NaOH in aqueous solution ionizes into Na plus and OH minus. These are the examples of electrolytic dissociation. These are the examples of sodium chloride and calcium chloride, which are ionic compounds, okay, in which Na plus and Cl minus ions are already present in the solution. So NaCl dissociates into Na plus and Cl minus in aqueous solution. Similarly, CaCl2 also dissociates into Ca2 plus and chloride ions in aqueous solution. This is the examples of acids dissociating in aqueous solution in the form of H plus and sulfate ions, HCl dissociating into H plus and Cl minus ions. Similarly, bases, when in aqueous solution, it dissociates into K plus and OH minus. NaOH dissociate into Na plus and OH minus. These last two examples, we can call this as ionization also, because in these substances, positive and negatively charged ions are not present in their original molecule. But in case of salts, you can see the electrovalent compound formation itself take place due to the formation of positive and negative ions. So during the dissociation of H2SO4, HCl, KOH, NaOH, we can call this as ionization also. But in case of electrovalent compounds like NaCl, CaCl, KCl, KBr, this is just a electrolytic dissociation. Let us revise the difference between ionization and dissociation. Ionization is the process which produces new charged particles which are not present in the molecules. Dissociation is the separation of charged particles which already exist in compound. Ionization involves polar covalent compounds or metals. Dissociation involves ionic compounds. This is the main difference. In polar covalent compound, ionization occurs. Even metals or gases undergo ionization, whereas dissociation is observed in ionic compounds generally. Ionization always produces charged particles. Dissociation produces either charged particles or electrically neutral particles. Ionization process is irreversible, whereas dissociation is a reversible process. Ionization involves covalent bonds between the atoms present in the molecule. Dissociation involves ionic bonds in their compounds. Now, let us learn about electrode potential. Electrode potential is the measure of tendency of a metallic electrode to lose or gain electrons when it is in contact with a solution of its own salt. Let us have a look at the origin of electrode potential. When a metal is placed in the solution of its own salt, the chemical reaction, that is oxidation or reduction, may take place, and ultimately a dynamic equilibrium is established. Because of this, negative or positive charge is developed on the metal, which attracts the positively or negatively charged free ions present in the solution. Due to this attraction, a short layer of positive ions or negative ions is formed all over around the metal. This layer is called as electrical double layer. A difference of potential is consequently set up between the metal and the solution. At equilibrium, the potential difference between the metal and the solution becomes a constant value, and that equilibrium potential difference so established is called the electrode potential of that metal. In this diagram, you can see the two phenomenon, that is de-electronation and electronation. When zinc electrode is immersed in its own salt solution, that is zinc sulfate solution, then zinc electrode has a tendency to lose the zinc ions into the solution, liberating electron. That is, it undergoes de-electronation or loss of electrons or oxidation. So electrons remain on the electrode itself, whereas more and more zinc ions which are positively charged pass into the solution. So there is a formation of negative charge on the electrode due to the liberation of free electrons and the positive ions, excess of positive ions present in the solution. And due to the formation of this electrical double layer, when the equilibrium is established, a potential is developed across this metal and the solution, which is called as electrode potential of that metal. Similarly, if you see the electronation process, this is a copper electrode immersed in copper sulfate solution. Now here copper has a tendency to accept the electrons. Okay. So copper ions which are present in the solution, they move towards this copper cathode, which is negative, which is electron rich. At the copper cathode, these copper ions from the solution accept the electrons and get deposited over the copper cathode. So this metal electrode, that is copper electrode, acquires positive charge, and there is a negative charge present in the solution. And due to the development of this positive charge on the copper electrode and the negative charge in the solution, there is a formation of electrical double layer due to electronation process, that is gain of electrons by the copper ions present in the solution and get deposited on the copper electrode. That sets up the difference in the potential between the metal electrode and the solution, and that difference of potential is called as electrode potential of that metal electrode. So here are the definition of electrode potentials. Single electrode potential, it is a measure of tendency of a metallic electrode to lose or gain electrons when it is in contact with a solution of its own salt. Standard electrode potential may be defined as It is a measure of tendency of a metallic electrode to lose or gain electrons when it is in contact with a solution of its own salt solution of 1 molar concentration at 25 degrees Celsius. Here are the two definitions we get depending upon the tendency to lose electron or gain electrons. Loss of electron is called as oxidation. Hence, the electrode undergoing oxidation reaction develops oxidation potential, and the electrode undergoing reduction reaction, that is gain of electrons, develops reduction potential. So oxidation potential is the ability of an electrode to give up electrons, that is to lose the electrons and become oxidized. Whereas reduction potential is the ability of an ion in solution to pick up the electrons, that is to gain the electrons from its own electrode and become reduced. Greater the reduction potential of an ion, more easily it is reduced, and vice versa. For example, in Daniell cell, Cu2 plus is reduced due to greater reduction potential than zinc, which is oxidized. This we know from the galvanic series. Zinc is placed at the higher position, upper position in the series, and which is more active than the copper. So zinc becomes anode and copper becomes cathode, and zinc undergoes oxidation, that is loss of electrons, and passes into the solution in the form of Zn2 plus ions. Whereas at the cathode, reduction occurs, that is gain of electrons, Cu2 plus ions from the solution, Cu2 plus ions from the solution accept the electron from the copper cathode and get deposited in the form of copper atoms. Okay, that is gain of electrons. These are the reactions that take place in Daniell cell. This is a standard reduction potentials of different metal ions at 25 degrees Celsius with reference to hydrogen, whose standard reduction potential is considered to be 0. In this series, the metal ions are arranged in the decreasing order of their standard reduction potential values. So here, the metal ions which are placed below hydrogen, which are having negative values, are more anodic, are more active as compared to the metal ions which are placed above hydrogen, which are having positive electrode potential values. So here onwards, we are going to learn more about electrolysis. Before that, we have already studied types of cells, that is voltaic, galvanic or electrochemical cells, in which chemical energy is converted into electrical energy. The most common example is Daniell cell. Electrolytic cells in which electrical energy is converted into chemical energy. Okay, and what is electrolysis? Electrolysis is the process of chemical decomposition of an electrolyte by the passage of electric current through it is called electrolysis. Electrolysis is the decomposition of an electrolyte in molten state or aqueous state by passing electric current through it. An electrolyte is a substance which conducts an electric current in molten state or aqueous solution and is decomposed by electricity. The two electrodes which are used during electrolysis, one is the anode, which is the electrode where oxidation takes place. It is the electrode connected to the positive terminal of the battery. And the cathode is the electrode where reduction occurs, that is gain of electrons, which is connected to the negative terminal of the DC supply. Now, what is electrolytic cell? It is an apparatus of convenient shape and size and material. It may be of glass or steel, in which the electrolysis is carried out. There are positive and negative poles of the battery. Red is positive, black is negative. Electrodes are the metal electrodes which conduct the electricity between the cell and the surrounding. There are two types of electrodes, active electrodes and inert electrodes or inactive electrodes. Active electrodes are the generally metallic rods like copper, silver, zinc, iron, which actually take part in the redox reaction. Whereas inactive electrodes or inert electrodes may be of platinum and graphite, which just act as electron carriers of oxidation and reduction reactions. The two electrodes, as just now we have seen, cathode and anode. Cathode is connected to negative pole of the battery and undergoes reduction, that is gain of electrons. Anode connected to the positive pole of the battery and undergoes oxidation. You can see here the setup of electrolytic cell. We have the battery, positive terminal of the battery and negative terminal of the battery, and electrodes, that is one is anode which is connected to the positive terminal of the battery, and negative cathode which is connected to the negative terminal of the battery. At anode always oxidation occurs, that is loss of electrons. Okay. And at cathode, which is negative electrode, always reduction occurs, that is gain of electrons by the metal ions. So this is the electrolysis, electrolytic cell, in which electrolyte is taken. In the electrolysis, for electrolysis, the current is passed through the two electrodes which are immersed in the electrolytic solution. Now let us learn about mechanism of electrolysis. When an electrolyte is dissolved in proper solvent or taken in molten state, it splits up into two charged particles called ions. When electricity is passed, ions respond to the applied potential difference and move towards the oppositely charged electrodes. Thus, cations, which are positively charged, move towards cathode, which is negatively charged electrodes, while anions, which are negatively charged, move towards the anode, which is positively charged. On reaching the respective electrodes, the ions lose their charge and form neutral particles. Thank you, students.